My name's Joe McGuire. I'm a punter here at Ohio State. I'm in my second year and I'm from Melbourne, Australia.
My name's Nick McLarty. I'm a punter at Ohio State and from Melbourne, Australia also.
I played football, Australian football and cricket as a kid growing up in Australia. And in Australian football, the main way to pass the ball is by kicking, which is similar to a punt, maybe not as much hang time, but a little bit lower. So yeah, I played that for a while, and one of my friends came up to me during COVID and just sort of said, you know, mate, you've got a decent leg. Why don't you try out this thing called Pro Kick Australia, which is it's a program that I went through, and they send kids over to college. So a lot of other guys are over here as well at other schools.
So I was a pretty similar situation growing up with Australian rules football. Played it since I was 3 years old, and then went through the NAB Cup and all the sort of regional and district levels as well. So
I think it is very different to what university's like in Australia. I think the first thing that sort of struck me was that it is actually a bit like the movies. Everything is so big. I think it's very beneficial that so many people live on campus. So there's a real buzz and real feel around the university of excitement. And then having college sport, that's not really a thing in Australia at all. So it creates a real sense of pride for your university.
Yeah, I didn't really know college was an option. Coming out of high school, I didn't even think it was a thing. So I only really got into American football about a year or two ago, and my first NFL game was when the Eagles lost, unfortunately, about 2 years ago. So just to experience it in person and be able to have such a big crowds there, it's pretty phenomenal. Yeah, definitely some of the slang we have. It's good having someone like Joe with me. Yeah, it's good. We can just bounce words off each other, and it actually makes sense to us.
Yeah, Nick and I can have a conversation sometimes, and there'll be one of our kickers, Casey, just sits there like,
what is going on?
What did you just say? I've got no idea. I know one of the words that we use is for a weed whacker. Casey, our mate, finds it quite entertaining. We call it a whippersnipper. People find that pretty funny for some reason. Just a few little things as well, like if we're doing something later in the day, like I'll say, yeah, I'll see you this arvo, and everyone's like, what's an arvo? It's just afternoon.
Yeah, it's just little things that we don't even realise we're saying. And then, yeah, in the end, they just look at you like, well, what are you doing? So
even my name, like, I would have thought Joe is a really hard name to get wrong, but I go to coffee shops here and they're like, oh, John, like Jug one time, it was crazy. So a couple of the boys think it's pretty funny to call me Jar around the place now, but it's funny.
I've gone from summer to summer, so I've been very fortunate that I haven't actually got to experience it yet. I have, however, gone to places like Canada during the snow season, so I sort of have an idea of what's coming, but yeah, it's going to be something that you're just going to have to chuck a jumper on and yeah, just hope.
You reckon?
Oh, well, oh, here we go. Yeah.
It's cold, dude, it's cold. I remember I got back from Australia in January, and it was like 36, which is 95 maybe. And then I was running out here, and it was minus 17 Celsius, which is like -1 or something Fahrenheit. I was
cold.
I was sitting in my car for like 20 minutes waiting for the thing to warm up. Even running out in October, it's going to change like that. Then you play in places like Wisconsin and you kick the ball and it's like kicking a brick. So I thought I was ready for it, but that was an unpleasant surprise. I mean, just playing more footy. We get to play every week in front of a pretty big crowd, which is cool. We've got a really good team, like great culture going on. So just being in the locker room around the guys, and yeah, I suppose we do all this hard work to go and play and experience game day. So yeah, just to have that for a few more months is awesome.
Yeah, I think the way we're going right now is going to be a pretty good season. So just head down, bum up, and just keep working hard, really.